All right. Welcome, everyone. Uh, we're waiting for Katarina to join in as well. Kat, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can. I can. Lovely. We just don't see you just yet, or it could be
We'll
just me.
see. And no, it should be very soon. It's just loading.
It's fine. We have a few minutes to kill, anyways, while we wait for everybody to jump in.
Hello, are you able to see me now?
Yep. Perfect.
Great. Great, great, great. I was
All
going
right.
to blur my
So
background, but then I realized that it's just my Game of Thrones collections in the background, so you'll be fine.
yeah, that works. That works. I mean, I always have my book collection and my Lego set behind me. So
So I think it's gonna be okay.
um, while we wait, because we'll give everybody at least until the sharp time when the webinar is supposed to start. How are you, Kat? Long time no
I'm
see.
doing I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm actually quite excited to be on this call. I haven't been in office hours in a year and a half. It's been a long maternity leave. So it's exciting to see some new names and some old names in the list. I'm hoping we're going to see some of the clients that used to come to the office hours. And yeah, I'm excited to see what we're going to talk about today. Although I do know some of the topics, but I'm excited to see you lead it because I'm not leading it yet. I'm just in the background for
Yeah,
now.
it's gonna be fun, and definitely we have some old names joining us still from like the past office hours that I've done. I mean, you'll see a lot of new names as well, but some old clients are still here.
Great. And everyone, Alex, do you want to also, once we get started, should we go through just the application itself in the context of where they can send out the questions in the chat, or is everyone already familiar with it? Maybe we can talk about that
Absolutely.
now while we wait for everyone.
Absolutely. So that's something I like to mention at least 3 or 4 times during the webinar. Uh, Whenever I cover a topic, I always point them to either our email, which is hello@vacationtracker.io, or the chats, because not every question can be answered during the webinar. Sometimes we need some additional information. Sometimes even they can't remember or come up with a question and it comes back after the webinar ends. So yeah, that's something we always do, and we receive a lot of questions afterwards. So yeah, we'll do that today as well. Just a note. I mean, again, even though you might be running late to this webinar, or if you didn't have the time to attend at all, the webinar will be sent out via email right after we're done. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes for it to like render in the background, and then the automatic email is sent. And we also post it to our YouTube channel and as a pop-up on the dashboard, so you won't be able to miss it even if you wanted to. So no worries, even if you have something to run off to, different tasks in a day, feel free to leave and you'll be able to come back. I see thumbs up, which means people like this. And then, of course, I think, Kat, we can start, right?
Yeah. I think so. I think so. Let's go ahead and whoever's late, they can just jump in.
Perfect. So to start off this webinar, we are going to be talking about some topics to end the year, because it is this December. We're doing this webinar a week before the holiday season kicks in, and we're doing this intentionally because we want to give everybody enough time to kind of run through this list of tasks that we're going to show you and be ready for 2026, even if you planned out a vacation or you have a holiday connected in. So you'll be ready ahead of time to start the new year with both feet on the ground. So the topics for today are going to be revolving around setting yourselves up for 2026. And of course, we're going to cover a bit more in depth the import features that we have. So last month we covered reports. We're going to touch on them just a little bit here. A reminder won't hurt. But we are going to be talking mostly about imports and then setting up the accounts for you. So if you don't mind, let me just take a moment to share my screen. Of course, the Q&A section is available. In case you have any questions throughout this presentation, feel free to send them in the Q&A section. And if you forget, as I mentioned, you can just send us a chat or an email afterwards, and we'll be happy to help. I think I'm sharing the screen.
Sure.
Kat, or any thumbs up in the chats if you can confirm.
We got thumbs up.
Perfect. Perfect. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is making sure that your locations and policies are set up correctly so that you can get into the year without worrying about any future updates. So if you remember, during the last office hours, we talked about the new UI interface that we have here, which means that we have the leave policies pop out a bit more, not only through locations, but as a separate page on the dashboard. So right here, this is our demo account, just have that in mind. So no real data is visible here. But we have a vacation leave policy that is different vacation leave policies that are applied to different locations that we have in our demo account. We are going to focus on this one, the Canada location, because that's where my profile is. So it's going to make most sense to use this. But as an overview here, you can see the differences between different leave policies that you have in your accounts, and some quick overview of different settings. So approval, whether or not the approvals are required, whether or not the negative balances are allowed, and the shortest leave durations. Of course, this is just a short version of a leave policy. You can always click on edit in the right corner and open the full leave policy on the account. This one is pretty simple. As you can see here, we don't have accruals, we don't have brought forward, we don't have time in lieu, but we might change this. As a company, we might decide that moving forward from 2026, we want to give accruals to people, make sure that they earn the time off that they will actually spend. And this is what we're going to plan ahead for. The thing that I'll have to note here is that some things that we're going to cover here will have to be done before 2026, and some of the things that we'll cover here will have to be done when 2026 starts, so after January 1st. And this, of course, refers mostly to the clients that have the accounting year set up to be resetting on January 1st. There's a bit of a difference for other people that have a reset date based on the user's employment date. In that case, everybody has a different reset date. But in those cases as well, I've noticed that a lot of you actually want to make the policy change on January 1st because it makes the most sense. So it can still apply to you. So in this case, if, for example, our leave quota, that is generously 30 days here, changes from 2026, let's say we move it from 30 to 35 for everybody, we would want to make this change after January 1st, because the leave quota, the yearly leave quota that we see here, is applied to 2025 right now. And we don't have a way of telling the system that it should only think about the quota moving forward. So this is something that you would have to do on January 1st. On the other hand, the brought forward settings or carryover, rollover days that you have, you can do right away. You can make the change now before the year ends, and it's going to be applied to the days that you have in 2025 being carried over into 2026. So let's say, for example, because this was disabled, we want to allow some of the days to be carried over. Out of 30, I'd say 10 days carryover would be a good policy to have. So I will set it to limited, and then I will set the maximum number of 10 days to be carried over into 2026. I have a couple more questions here that I need to cover. So should the brought forward days expire? If, for example, I'll use Serbia because in Serbia there's a lot of policies revolving around carryover days expiring at the end of June. So July 1st is like a reset date for the previous year. So in that case, I will set this to yes, and I will allow, and I will select June 31st, 30th. June has 30 days. I will select June 30th as a expiration date for the brought forward days. This means pretty much that if I have 10 or less days to carry over into 2026, they will be carried over, and I will have to spend them until the end of June. In case I have more than 10 days available at the end of 2025, let's say 12 days, I will carry over 10, and 2 of them will be wasted at the end of this year. And the second question that I have here is whether or not I want to enable negative brought forward. So this option ties to the negative balance, to allowing the negative balance in the leave policy. So for example, if you allow negative balance to be applied to somebody's account, you know that the remaining balances go into negative days. And so in that case, when a new year starts, we want to know what you want to do with those negative balances. So if you select no to at this question, if somebody has, I don't know, -3 days at the end of 2025, moving into 2026, they will have 0 days brought forward. If you select yes, those days, those negative days, will be carried into 2026, and they will be taken out of that person's next year's quota. So in this case, if I have 30 days in 2026 and I have a -3-day balance, I will have 27 days in 2026. A lot of 20s, which gets me mixed up. All right. That's pretty much everything that you will need to do regarding the brought forward settings. Of course, there's a lot of different ways you can adjust this. You can even allow all of the days to be brought forward, or you can go the other direction. So you may have allowed the days to be carried over in the past, and now you want to disable that. That works as well. Just a note here, this applies to the companies that have the accounting year reset for either January or any other specific date in a year. When it comes to companies with the user employment date counting as a reset date, this change that you will make here will apply to everybody's profiles from the moment you click update here, meaning that their current year, however long or short they may have left until the reset, will use this new policy. But yeah, other than that, I think that we don't need to cover like everything else inside of the actual leave policy settings. The brought forward and the yearly quota are the 2 things that you will have to keep in mind. I would suggest making sure that all of the policies are set up correctly for you before the year ends, just to be safe. Of course, by checking that, you'll also be able to update any policies that might have slipped with an error. So it's a good thing to check, of course, at the end of the year. When you're happy with the decision that you made, you just click an update, and we have a new policy here set up in this location. I think that's good, Kat. Any?
Yeah, I do. I would just add one thing. I think we have a lot of questions from a lot of users towards the end of the year where they start going into their future year and they start asking questions about what's happening with their brought forward. So we just want to give a heads up. This is something that as admins and admins you probably already know, but just always keep a heads up that users do tend to ask us in chat what's happening with the brought forward from this year. It's not showing in already in 2026 when they click on the next year button on their profile page. So it's just always important to remember that the brought forward amount will be transferred right when the year switches, because that's when we know exactly, first of all, which settings you wanted to do, right? Is there some sort of negative that should be taken away and so on? And also exactly how many days they have. Did they use something, for example, requesting December 31st off, right? So in order to not update those numbers at all times in the future year, we wait until the year switches to put in the right number. So that's maybe just kind of something to go over with your teams if that is a question regarding the rollover amount.
Exactly. Thank you, Kat. I would have forgotten that. And it's the most frequently asked question. So regarding the brought forward at the end of the year. So
Yeah, I do remember something. I've been gone for a year and a half, but I remember something.
That's right. All right. So moving forward, moving away from brought forward, and moving into reports. We covered in depth all of the reports and the ways you can export them in the previous webinar. If you haven't checked that out, go to our YouTube channel. I think it's live there, and check that. So I'm not gonna waste a lot of time today talking about them, but it's a good thing to remind everybody to export your reports in time. You might need them in the future. I've had a couple of cases throughout this year asking for full reports of 2023 and 2024 and how they can export them. So feel free to pull out the leave request and the leave balance report, which is, I'm guessing, more important at this moment at the end of the year. You can find them at the bottom left corner, the last option in the sidebar menu. The leave balance report, as you remember, allows you to export the current year and the previous year, which are the two options that we're going to mention this time around. A note here for the previous year is that it's going to show all of the data. So 2024 export is going to show all of the data until December 31st. And then if you forget about it and export it in 2026, you will have to customize the dates, and it's not going to show some of the fields. So just making sure that we leave that as a reminder, but we're not going to waste too much time on any other reports here. Moving forward, we are going to get to imports, or bulk uploads, as we call them, on the dashboard. So the uploads here are going to allow you to import 4 different things, 4 different sets of data for your users. So the first option, the first option we ever introduced as an upload is the leaves option. So, and I'm guessing this is going to be the most important import for everybody at the end of the year. Why is that? Usually, and I've noticed with a couple of cases we've had recently, I'm not sure if any of those clients are here in attendance, but sometimes you use vacation tracker and you use an HR system and in parallel, and the data that is logged in vacation tracker doesn't really match the data that's logged in that HR or payroll system. So the way we can tackle this is simple. There's 2 things you can do in vacation tracker. The first one is export the reports and then sync that into your HR system, but we need to have an option to go the other way around as well, because if somebody logged their leave over there, you want to import it here. The leave import page looks like this. You have a template that you can download by clicking this button, and the template that you'll download will look something like this, or not something like, it's going to look exactly like this. The template which will show you all of the fields that you'll have available to enter the data in, and it's going to show you, more importantly, the formats in which you need to fill out the data. The date formats specifically, because these are the only formats that our system will support when importing the data. Out of this, there are some mandatory and some optional fields. The mandatory fields are, of course, the email of the user whose leave you're importing, the leave type, because we need to know what's the leave type that we are connecting the user with, the time period for that leave, whether or not it's a half day or an hourly leave. If it's not, as you can see here, you don't need to use the hours and minutes from and to, because if it's a full day leave, it's a full day leave. On the other hand, if it is hourly or half day, you will need to enter the hours from and to, so the system can know which section of the day to block off. You have the reason field, which is optional. And the last thing is the approver email address. So this is somebody that approved this user's leave request. The approver needs to match the user's approver in the system, so the one that you set up in their departments. So just make sure that you've checked that. And once you fill in this document, which I'm going to move to the side now, you have an option to click on Start Import and upload a file. So I have something prepared, and I've dragged the file into here. You can also click on Browse and find it in your documents or downloads. But this is a file that I've prepared. So the first thing you need to do after you drag the file over here is to select the header row if you have it. After we click on Next, we'll have to match the columns. So there's two ways of doing this. The first way, the way I did it here, is I've used our own template that we have, and I've just edited the columns. The second way is if you have a spreadsheet of your own that you can use instead of our template, you can import that as well. The only thing you'll need to do is match the columns to be in the correct order. So you'll see here that for our template, like, it's designed for this, so there's nothing that we need to edit. Once we're set here, we can click on Next, and now we need to validate the data. So all of the rows here show that there's no errors in the import. So we have the correct email, the correct leave type, the time period, everything's correct. In case you enter some incorrect data, for example, the time format is wrong, maybe you have a typo in the email address of a user or the approver, the field is going to show a red mark, and you'll be able to click on it and edit it right here. So you won't need to jump out, edit the spreadsheet, and then come to import again. You can do all of that live over here. Once you're happy with this, just one more note. In case you have a lot of rows, because some of you have more than one person in the company, you will be able to click on Show Only Rows with Errors. That way you can filter out and find where the errors are instead of just endlessly scrolling through the document. Once we're done, we can just click on Confirm, and the system will say you have submitted the data for import. Check in a few minutes to see if the data has been imported successfully. So the system is now going to import this in the background, and in a few minutes, because this is a small file, it should be live and on my profile. Another thing that we can check before the end of the year, just tying into this missing leaves and importing leaves topic, is the actual user's balances. So I know some of you have specific quotas and balances for each individual user, depending on their tenure, depending on their role in the company, or just you wanted to give somebody more days, which is also an option. You'll be able to check their quotas at the bottom of their profiles. You can do that through reports as well if you want to, a quicker overview of everybody's quota. But just a suggestion here for everybody to just go through your users' quotas, make sure that everything looks good, that everything's working as expected before we move into 2026. And let me check my notes here.
And the only thing I would add there, maybe Alex, is a lot of companies that we see that edit the quotas at the end of the year are usually people who are working with SBE, which we have automated for some time. So if anyone here on the call or anyone who's going to be watching this webinar after for some reason does not know that we have this automated, although I'm pretty sure our marketing team does a very good job on promoting our new features. But just a little bit of a heads up, we do have this community-based entitlement feature that is going to automate and give those quotas based on how many years the person has been in the company. So you don't have to go and chase down all of these quotas and edit them at the end of the year. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind for anyone who may not know.
That's correct. Yeah, and a good note to have. I mean, I was assuming things, but I think that it's better to say it out loud than just assume. So thank you for jumping in. Yeah, so that's the first upload. I forgot my train of thought, but we are back. We have 3 more options here. So the user profile data is pretty straightforward. It's a quick little update that you can make to everybody's profiles. So this import here allows you to change users' department, location, start date at the company, end date in case they're leaving soon, and their employee IDs in case you need to match the employee IDs with your payroll system or the HR system. So the template is here as well. All of these are separate columns, as I've shown in the other import file, and you just need to fill it out and import. The process is pretty much the same. The fields are just different. Just to note that this is not where you can. This is not a place where you can change somebody's email. The emails are just to find the user in the system from the spreadsheet. Everything else can be changed. But that's it for the user profile data. Initial brought forward is not really going to be useful for everybody on this call, but it's a good note to have. The initial brought forward is a field that we offer only for the first year when you're in the vacation tracker, and it's a field that allows you to simply enter the number of days somebody brought from the previous year from before you were using vacation tracker. So for everybody here in attendance, I'm guessing that's not going to be the case because I believe you're all our clients, but it's an option we have either way. And the last thing is time off in lieu. So the same way we would import leaves, we would import the time in lieu. So you would have to enter the time period that somebody was working overtime, for example, and enter their reasons, their approvers. So it's pretty much matching the leave import. It's just for the added hours instead of deducting hours from their balance. I think the explanation is good enough, Kat.
I think that covers everything that we would go over for the imports. And again, this is just a bit of an overview for you guys in case that there is something that you have to do at the end of the year. We do get a lot of different information from different companies, obviously, because everyone has their own way of working. But we do have a lot of info about how you guys kind of wrap up the end of the year. So we put everything together. Not everything may be you may not need everything. You may not need the exports and the import. You may be just needing one option, but we're kind of covering everything in case something changes or in case you need a bit more detail or just to cover all the questions at once. But I think that that's it. I think you've gone over everything that we kind of get asked in support and kind of assist with. And again, I think Alex mentioned this at the beginning of the call, at the beginning of the webinar. My God, I'm so used to support. At the beginning of the webinar, I believe he already mentioned this. If there is anything that you do need assistance with, you can always reach out to us. Of course, you guys already know that, via chat, via email. We can do a quick call and help you guys out if there's something that's a bit different, or that you need some assistance with, or that you're doing for the first time. Reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help you, walk you through. We'd rather help you out and make sure that that's all correct, especially for end of year. We know how stressful it is for any HR, payroll, accounting, management teams. End of year is always quite hectic. So we want to help you guys out as much as possible.
Exactly. So I mean, we're doing this to help you out, but we're not doing this to get you off the leash. So, like, if in case you need support, we are still here. We are available, and you can feel free to reach out to us. So
yeah, we can't do it instead of you, unfortunately, but we can automate as much as possible. So.
All right. If we've covered everything, should we take a look at the questions if we've had any?
We haven't had any questions. We just had a comment from Gina. I already sent out a message, but I already checked on our end, and we didn't have any other complaints, and we didn't also have any connection warnings on our end, so we should be fine. But if anyone does have any questions, feel free to ask now. Maybe you can send out your questions now, while Alex, maybe you can go through what we're going to be talking about in January, because I think that's going to be quite interesting for everyone to hear at our
That's
next
right.
webinar.
That's right. So you'll notice here today, David is not next to me. We gave him a well-deserved break. He's been doing this for a while now. But this is kind of a handoff situation. So moving forward in 2026, you'll be seeing a lot more of Kat. You'll be seeing a lot less of me. But you'll also have David back on some of the webinars. The first one in January, we're going to do a similar thing that we did at the start of this year, which is kind of a year in review for both everything that we've done so far in 2025 and everything that we are planning to do and hoping to do in 2026. And for this type of a webinar that we're planning for January, I don't think either me or Kat are really a well-fitted person to talk about roadmap features and plans for the future. So instead of us, our product manager, Anna, will be joining David, and the two of them will guide you through kind of our plans, maybe reveal a couple of secrets that we're keeping. Not saying anything, but there might be some surprises, so make sure to tune in for the next webinar. We don't have a set date, I believe,
Yet.
but
Not yet.
I'm assuming it's going to be like second part of January, making
Yes.
sure that all of the holidays and holiday tide vacations are done, so everybody can tune in.
And we can definitely talk about the features. It's just that we're probably going to give you wrong dates for releases because we're going to get too excited. So we're not the right people to give you that information. And also, it would be really, really cool if for that webinar, my suggestion at least would be for you to definitely, if anyone's watching this after it's been recorded, definitely try to join live, because asking questions directly and giving comments directly to product manager while they're discussing the features, I think that's going to be a huge bonus for you guys. So I do suggest joining live and just bombarding them with all possible questions that you have and comments, and just giving that feedback. I think it's gonna mean a lot. We do have a couple of questions sent in. The first comment, though, Steve, I just need a little bit of a clarification. You sent us a question saying setting holidays. Are you asking us to show you how to set the holidays for the upcoming year? Is that the question that you have? Just let me know here in the Q&A if that's what we understood. Because we could actually, that is a really good point, uploading the holidays for next year if they haven't automatically been uploaded. Maybe that's something to just really quickly go over.
It is, and I can see Steve said yes. Perfect.
Okay, great.
So a good thing about vacation tracker is, as Kat mentioned, we try to automate everything for you. So in case you've imported the holidays, and I'll guide you actually from the beginning. So locations is where we can find the holidays. You open the location that you want, and you open the tab holidays at the top. And you'll see here that we have holidays for 2025 list. Most of them are already passed. And we have the holidays from 2026 as well. Good thing about this is if you import holidays, and you'll notice a yellow imported label next to them, those holidays are going to be recurring every single year, and the calendars are going to adjust depending on whether or not it's a weekend, if it's a church holiday or a state holidays. Like sometimes the dates move or the days move, so it's automatically going to adjust every single year. In case you created a custom holiday, as you can see here, we have a team building holiday for this year, October 30th. And you can see it says no when asked if it's recurring. If you have a custom holiday that you need to be recurring, you can actually edit it. Click on yes when asked if it's a recurring holiday, and then you have a recurrence type. So it's going to recur every year on the exact date that you set up, or it's going to be every year on specific days. What does this mean? So this allows you to actually set up a specific day of the week in next year or years to come that's going to be celebrated as a holiday. So as you can see here, we can select that, I don't know, for example, 3rd Friday of August every year should be a holiday applied in vacation tracker. And if we select it here, every 3rd August moving forward until you either delete the holiday or cancel it, change it, will be a holiday in the system. So that's one way to do it. The other way, of course, is just simply by importing it from our holiday database, which will then automatically apply them to all future years. So you don't need to worry about that at all. The safest way to do this, to check this, is just come into holidays, click on holidays for 2026, and see if they're there. If this list is empty, that means that you'll need to import them. If it's full, then you're probably good to go.
All right. Thanks, Alex. I think that covered the holidays. We do have a question from Carrie regarding short-term disability policy, which is interesting. I think that there probably is a way to do it, not exactly naming it this way, but Carrie asks, we have a short-term disability policy that requires you have completed 12 months of service prior to being eligible for short-term disability. Is this able to be reflected in the policy request? So it's almost like a
Yeah.
probational period, it seems, that Carrie
Yeah.
is referring to for one specific policy, one specific leave policy, the one specific leave type, let's say.
That's right. And there's, I mean, a couple of ways you can handle this. Probation period is the easiest, I guess, solution that comes to mind. The way you could do this is when you come to add-ons, we'll find probation period. It's not here, which means it's in the Discover More add-ons page. Let's just activate this. So based on your example, we'll use the title of short-term disability as a probation period. The length in days will be a full year of 12 months, so 365 days. You have the automatic reject response that you can edit. So here you can explain the policy requires you to be with a company for 12 months before requesting this type of a leave. You have an option to apply it to all users. If it only applies to a specific location, you can or a department, you can select that as well. And you have an option to choose which leave types it applies to. If this is only applying to the short-term disability leave type, then you would select only that leave type and remove the other ones like this. And once you're happy with everything you set up, you would click create, and the probation period policy is created. So that's one way to do it. The other way, the first thing that came to my mind for some reason would be through seniority entitlement, which I guess my brain is still not used to having probation period as an actual feature in the system, because I would have solved it through seniority entitlement, like giving people 0 days in the policy, and then after that, after a year, giving them a specific number of days. So yeah, again, good that you're here, Kat, because
Yeah,
your
it's
solution
just
is much
listen, it's just the fresh pair of eyes. That's all it is. I haven't been here for a long time. That's what it is. Don't worry.
true. You had to refresh your knowledge about
Exactly.
everything, so you probably clicked around recently.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so I think the probation period is the best option. Is there any other questions? There's any other questions, feel free to send them through. If you don't send any of the questions in now, you can always, of course, send them to us via chat or via email. You're welcome, Carrie. You can send them via chat or via email, and we'll be more than happy to answer. And again, the next webinar, we strongly suggest definitely show up and definitely ask them questions, give back feedback, because it's going to help us as well make sure that we're providing you guys with the right features and creating the right features for you guys. I think that's why we love having you guys at these webinars as well, even when we're talking about different things, even when we're talking about these kinds of topics. It's really good for you guys to ask these types of questions. It gives us an idea of what else, for example, probation period can be used for. This is a great example, Alex, I think, of one where it's like it's not related to just a probational period in the more traditional way that it's used. So this is really great for us as well.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, even if you won't be able to make it to the next webinar, it's still going to be recorded, and we still appreciate the feedback and the comments about the system, the suggestions that you have. Feel free to ask for new features. Some of you, I recognize some of the names. Some of you already ask and suggest and give us feedback, and we very much appreciate that. So just keep doing that. All right, we should be good to end this now, Kat. Right?
Yep,
Let me stop
we're good to
sharing
go.
my
I
screen.
think we're good to go. I think that's it.
Perfect. Well, in that case, happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you in 2026.
Holidays.
And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. See you, Kat.
See you, Alex.